Hello everyone, welcome to Yap Session Part 3. I have not posted in months, and that's because I've been super busy with school, and I have a job, and I lost all will to write and make videos. So yes, today's video, I'm just going to be yapping and talking about stuff that's going on with me, and of course it's going to be still related to the cause and stuff like that. So lately, I have not been the best mentally. I don't know how to explain this. So literally because this happened, so let me give a little backstory. When I first started practicing Hellenic polytheism, I was also not doing the best mentally. So what happened, multiple things happened. So first, I was a little too into it, you know what I mean? I had a hyperfixation on it, because I do have ADHD. But because of that, I did actually get burned out. And I did stop practicing, for about a couple months, I think so. And then at other times, I would just get, super depressed. And I would also stop practicing. But I eventually got to the point where, I was practicing again. And that went on. I consistently was basically praying, every day for about, 2 years now. It's basically as long as I've been in this religion, almost. I've been 3 years now. But, I think for, 2 years, 2.5 of those, I've been very consistent with it. Do my offerings every week unless I'm, sick or something like that. So obviously I can't guarantee it every day. And I've only gotten better. I went from praying once a day to praying sometimes 4 times a day. I usually pray around 3 to 2 times a day. Depends on the day. On a regular day, I pray 2 times. I should probably clarify what on a regular. On a deity day, not Monday. A day that's related to a deity. That's also when I do the offering, stuff like that. And I have this super specific prayer system that I use. I basically I just do a prayer to someone in the early morning, not morning, but early in the afternoon and someone at night. And usually the person at night is Aries, unless it's a deity's day. It's Friday, I pray to Aphrodite instead. You know what I mean? But on those days, since I am devoted to Aries, I eventually got to the point where I was okay, I'm gonna pray to Aries every day, which is what I did. So I would start praying 3 times a day. So I pray to someone in the early afternoon, pray to Aries in the middle of the day, and then pray to someone at night. If it was their day. Today was Friday, I'll pray to Aphrodite at night. So it would basically kind of go Apollo, Aries in the middle of the day, and then Aphrodite. And the same thing would be consistent. It would always be Aries every day. So I got to the point where I was praying to Aries every day. And then my prayer system is a little more specific now, because I do pray to Aphrodite, I guess more often. Obviously, I pray to Aries the most often, because I said every day. Aphrodite, I pray to her, every 2 days, because she's actually been a deity that's been with me the longest. So I was okay, how can I honor her more? You know what I mean? So I was okay, let me do that. So yeah, it's kind of specific, but you kind of get it. So sometimes I'll pray 4 times a day. I did that a couple times, because it'll kind of be like this. So say it was Wednesday, you know what I mean? So I pray to maybe Apollo earlier in the day. Then I'll be okay, it's every 2 days, you know what I mean? Pray to Aphrodite, then I pray to Aries, and then I'll pray to Hermes at night. So you know what I mean? So I only have 4 deities, so I pray to all 4 of them that day. I got to that point where I'm actually still proud of it, and I'm still proud of myself now, because I am still working hard at it. But like I said, I would say it kind of started in August, but it got really bad in September. The depression just hit me like a storm, the burnout and everything. And I'm feeling better, but I will say these past few months have been definitely some of the worst months ever in my life, which is a really hard contender, because I don't want to get too deep into my lore, but let's just say I haven't had the best growing up. But yeah, I have been so down bad. Wild. Yeah, I've been so down bad for past 4 months, which really sucks, because these past months have been very special months to me. First of all, October is my favorite month of the year, and also not only that, it's also when I started worshiping the anniversaries of 3 out of 4 of my deities. And in September is Hermes' anniversary, but I've been so depressed with all of that, I wasn't able to celebrate, which really sucks. And then December is also super important to me, because even though I don't really like December like that as a month, December is actually a month I started being devoted to Aries, and I celebrated kinda, I still did a really good job. But yeah, and also I missed a bunch of holidays, and oh my goodness, it is terrible. I definitely think the start of the year and the end of the year where the holidays will start to pick up, so I missed a bunch of the holidays, because I wasn't able to celebrate. And the rule of Dionysia just passed, well, it's still kind of going on, obviously. But I don't think I'm going to celebrate. I don't think I'm going to celebrate. Because the only holiday I did not want to miss is Aries holiday. Because it's actually the first year I'm doing it anyway. And I had to say, that's definitely the most important out of all the holidays to me. Because, it's to celebrate and to honor Aries for me being devoted to him. And I wasn't able to do everything I wanted to do. But I can't I have to do something. So I definitely did do it. Like, I'll probably talk about it more in like another video, because I'm actually really happy about how that turned out, me celebrating for him. Maybe I'll make a video about writing holidays. I have to put that down in my notes. But yes, I was so excited. I was able to do it, but I was like, I have to do it because I don't want to miss it. Like, this is the one thing I didn't want to miss. Like, I don't want to miss the Royal Dionysia either, or like I miss like other holidays. I don't want to miss either, but I'm like, I don't know how my mental energy to celebrate, and like if I'm going to save my mental energy, I'd rather save it for Aries holiday, which hurts me to say, but I got my priorities, I guess. Because like I said, like, Aries, he's been with me, obviously, like, since the beginning also, but like, he's definitely helped me so much in my life. All my deities have, of course, but you know what I mean. But this is not Aries, right, As much as I love talking about Aries, is not what this is about. I've been down bad, and I just want to talk about how my spiritual routine, my religious routine has been during these months. And I just want to say, y'all, it has absolutely not existed. I'm being so dead ass. So at first, I was still able to get my prayers. They kind of slowed down, but I was still able to do them. And then it got to the point where I wasn't doing them at all. And the same thing with offerings. I was doing like once, like every while, and then it stopped altogether. Like, I did do an offering the other day. I managed to muster up the energy, but I've not really been offering or praying all that consistently, which really sucks. I really don't like not praying, not just because I feel obligated to, because I do have a bad habit of feeling like I have to do something, but the gods don't need my offerings or my prayers. It's more for me, but I still feel bad. I'm like, but I've gotten a lot better, like, realizing, like, no, they're not gonna kill me for not praying. But also, like, I feel bad because, like, praying helps me a lot, obviously. Like, even if I don't feel like it, praying does make you feel better, because as humans, I think we have a bad tendency to want to go to other people, which is nothing wrong with that, like friends, family who are all trusted. But the only problem with that is sometimes, obviously, we don't have good people in our lives, like, but even if we do, like, you have to be honest, your friends, your family can never truly understand your struggles the way you do, because obviously yourself, and even ourselves, like, there's no one who's going to understand your struggles better than, the gods will. Like, they know better than, they probably know better than you know what I mean? But, like, between you and the gods, like, we're both, I guess whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I've often felt, like, unsatisfied talking to, like, a friend, because obviously I love my friends a lot, but obviously they don't, they don't get it, especially if my friends live far away from me, so, like, we're not talking in person. They don't, they don't get it, you know what I mean? So I've felt satisfied, but after praying, I have to admit, I don't think I've ever felt, like, unsatisfied after praying. Like, it always makes me feel better, but, like, my mental health has been so bad to the point where, like, I've actually been having a lot of stuff going on, too. We're not going to really get into it, but I guess a lot of outside factors, which I will talk about, and how I deal with that also. I kind of felt like praying wouldn't do anything, because, like, not only is it not going to solve my problem, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to make any action. It's not like the gods can, like, quote unquote talk back. Like, of course the gods do communicate with us in their own way, but I'm trying to say, like, physical communication, like a friend will. But, like, I realized that's not the point of praying. And like I said, I've never not felt better after praying, but I have felt, like, not better after talking to a friend or something like that. So it's just a bad cycle. And yeah, it's just like a bad habit I have. So yeah, I have not been praying at all. But how have I been dealing with that? Like, how have I still been trying to incorporate the gods into my life and stuff like that? So, because I've not been praying or offering, those are obviously my main ways of talking to a deity. Trying to incorporate the gods into my life is just basically just, like, remembering them, because I remember, like, the gods are good and the gods are there, even if I don't feel like it. I try to incorporate them into my life, because I know the gods are good, and I know they're always going to be there for me, more than anybody in my life. Like, no one in your life is guaranteed. Like, even your own life is not guaranteed, you know what I mean? But the gods they're like the one constant, you know what I mean? Like, like I said, you living is not constant. Like, you could literally die. I could literally drop dead right now in the middle of recording, which would be kind of funny. Can you imagine? Oh no. But anyway, but the gods are always going to be there. They're going to exist way after you, and they existed way before you, you know what I mean? So I try to remember them. I try to think, of course, with my core four, my main deities. I also remember the gods in general. Like, the gods are good. I try not to get into the habit of, because as humans, we want to always blame something outside ourselves, which is nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't fall too deep into it, you know what I mean? Because sometimes either, like, you have to take responsibilities for your own problems, like, if something's happening because of you have to take responsibility for that, or you have to know, like, it's not anybody's fault something's happening to you, you know what I mean? So, one of those things, but we also want to blame something else, which I'm about to talk about in a second. Guys, remember, the gods are good, and nothing that bad that happens to us is happening because we're a bad person. But yeah, try to remember the gods and try to remember they're good. Like, I was going through it. What else is new? So I actually like writing poetry and stuff like that. So I wrote a poem. I'm actually going to read it to you all because I'm actually really proud of the poem. Beloved gods, I nearer to thee and you nearer to me. The pain shakes my heart, but my heart only belongs to you. Sadness has no grip, nor vice, nor torment. No human, no event could take you away from me. No emotion, no fear, because I shall hold you dear. I'll hold you in my heart the way you hold mine, and I'll never let go. No sorrow will take my heart, none shall lay claim, for I only belong to you. I just feel like that's a good thing to remember. Like, it really helped me in that moment, because going through a lot, you feel like, it's never gonna get better. But I remember, like, pain, sadness, even happiness and other emotions are always temporary, but the gods are forever. And, like, my heart doesn't belong to anybody else but the gods and stuff like that. Physically and metaphorically, is that the right word? But you know what I'm trying to say, like, if you're super down in the moment, it's like the pain, you're not your pain, you know what I mean? Like, you're not anything but yourself. And I don't belong to anybody but the gods. So I don't belong to bad situations. I'm trying to explain, like, what my mindset was writing this, but basically, you don't belong to any bad situation, you know what I mean? Obviously. You don't belong to any good situation. The only thing that you belong to is the gods, period. That's what I was kind of thinking in the moment. Going through a bad situation, I was thinking, I don't belong to anything. I guess anything. I don't belong to anyone else but the gods. Like, my heart doesn't belong to anyone else but the gods. So even if my heart is feeling like it's in pain, my heart, it's not forever, you know what I mean? Only the gods are forever. So I know I'm explaining it really badly, but I hope the poem makes you understand what I'm trying to say. So, like, doing that, I'm just trying to, like, actively remember the gods. Because even if you're not praying, offering, just know that your deities especially, but I feel like the gods in general, but especially your personal deities, they never forget about you, They're not just like, oh, I'm like, that person's worshiping you, man, I wonder what happened to them. Obviously, they're not like that. They remember you, to think about you. They watch over you still, you know what I mean? Like, even if I haven't been praying and offering, my deities, they still act the same way towards me, you know what I mean? They're still as nice as ever, which still blows my mind sometimes. Like, obviously, I don't ever expect them to be rude to me, but, like, they still give me the same, like, loving messages as usual. They're just, like, they're amazing, obviously. But, yeah, your deities love you the same, even if you're not praying or offering. So I just want to come on here and remind you all of that. And I also wanted to record a video, because I know I need to record videos, because I love actually making these videos. And I love actually talking about stuff like this, because it means a lot to me, especially just, like, in the past few months I've been thinking about that. Saying these kind of things and getting my words out there, getting my, like, basically, like, kind of get the thoughts out of my mind. It not only helps me, but it makes me feel good, because I want to kind of help people with that, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I love y'all so much. Thank you for sticking around, even though I've not been uploading for the past couple months. I'm gonna try to get better, because I actually did just finish school, like, completely. I know, praise the gods, for real. Not done with school forever, but I'm done with school for now. So all really holding me back now is work. But I will make a better schedule, because my work schedule is a lot better. Praise the gods, and just know the gods love you no matter if you're praying, offering, or not. Because that's the point of building up charis, kars. You build that relationship. And it's not like if you stop offering, they're just going to, like, be like, oh, forget about you. You know what I mean? That's not what it is, It's kind of like with a friend. Like, you're friends. But it's different. It's way deeper than a friend. It's way deeper than, like, a parent. It's like, obviously a relationship with a deity could not be compared to, like, a friendship or, like, a parent. It's way deeper than that. So, like, a deity will always love you way more than your friends or parents could. And I just felt something special about that. Like, they love us more than we can even comprehend. Like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, the gods love you. They'll never forget about you. And if you're going through a hard time, especially just, like, winter's coming, a lot of people have seasonal depression, or just other stuff. Like, I know a lot of people's moods get worse in winter. Nothing wrong with that, of course. But even if you're just going through a hard time, remember to slow down. In winter, our bodies are supposed to slow down, but of course, because of capitalism, we can't do that. But just do your best, take care of yourself. Remember that you are human, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love y'all, and prepare for my next videos, because I'm actually cooking up some ideas. So, love y'all, bye.